Hey Art 1 students, today we're going to be making an animated pinch pot. So you're all going to get a nice big lump of clay, and to make a pinch pot you always want to start with a nice ball. So you can roll it on the table to make a nice ball shape. You can also pass it between your hands back and forth. Just manipulate it until you start to feel like you've got a nice sphere. We've talked about this form before. I'm feeling pretty good about my sphere. I might play around with a couple lumps. But then once you're happy with it and it feels very round, you can stick your thumb into the middle and push down pretty hard. Then you're going to put both thumbs in the middle hole and start pinching the outside and turning. As you pinch and turn, you'll notice that the little cup starts to get wider. Your walls will become thinner. So you want to just continue to mold it until you get the type of shape that you want. You can start thinking ahead now about what you want your pinch pot to look like. We're going to animate them or give them some sort of a character. You could flip it over and do it sort of like that would be the back of your character. You could also use the opening as a mouth. Here's an example. This person used a tongue and added teeth, one big eyeball. It's sort of like a Halloween themed one. You could also do something like an animal, a ladybug. Bugs are really fun to do. It's totally up to you what you want to make. Just make a pinch pot and animate it somehow. So I'm going to just remold this a little bit so that it looks like a mouth. I'm going to go with the little Halloween themed character. And I'm just mushing it a little so that it looks like a mouth that's been widened. My clay is getting a little bit dry, so I'm just going to add a little water to it. When it starts to get kind of leathery, that's when you want to make sure that you keep it moist by adding some water. Now I'm going to get another little piece of clay and start adding attachments. So you're going to mold the attachments into the shapes that you want, and then I'll show you how to attach them using the slipping and scoring method. Here I'm going to add a little more water here because it's feeling a little dry. I'm making a tongue, if you can't tell. Sorry, the video is a little low. But I'm just molding this into a little slab until it starts to look like the shape I want. You can pull it, you can tug it. And then we have lots of tools. So if you need to manipulate the clay with a tool by drawing into it or carving, you can do that. I'm just going to draw a line for the tongue. Now I want to attach this. So we're going to learn how to slip and score. First, I need to get my piece that I want to attach and use this tool to scratch it. You can really use any tool, but as long as it's scratched on the surface where you want to attach it, that'll be helpful. It's sort of like you're making Velcro. So I'm going to go in one direction and then the opposite direction. So I have cross hatching. Dip my finger in the water so that I've created some slip or really wet clay. And then I'm going to do that same technique wherever I want it to meet. Again, it's like Velcro. Velcro only works if you have two pieces. So I want to make sure I've scratched and wet both the pieces that I'm attaching. Then I'm going to just mush it so it's stuck. So now I'm going to make another piece. This one's going to be an eyeball. You don't need to watch me mold this. I think you can figure out how to make an eyeball. I would hope. Just make a sphere. And then I'm going to put a little eyelid on it. So now I want to attach it. Okay, we got to do the slipping and scoring again. So I do the little Velcro, crisscrossing, add the water, and then attach it. If you don't do your slipping and scoring, your pieces will fall off. So make sure you slip and score. Now I'm going to just mold a little hole here for my eyeball, give it an eyelid, some eyelashes, make it animated. Be creative with this. This is the fun part. Now I'm going to show you one other thing you can do, and this is called fusing. When you fuse clay together, you're going to want to make sure that they're blended. So this is like if you want it to look like one piece of clay is continuing into another one. My eyeball is not fused because you can see where it's attached. This one, I want it to look like it's just coming right off of the body. So what I'm going to do is use my finger to just sort of mush the clay. And this will fuse the two pieces so that there's a nice transition from the pot to the horn. That's called fusing. So we've just learned slipping and scoring, which is how I attached that eyeball and the tongue. And now we're learning how to fuse the clay. Notice I'm also doing the slipping and scoring, and then I'm fusing it. This ensures that the piece won't fall off. It's a real bummer when your pieces fall off. You can twist them and mold them. I hope you guys have a lot of fun. I'm sorry I'm not here in person today. Can't wait to see them. We get to paint them next week.